Welcome to a brand new episode of the Oracles. The incredible, beautiful superstar Oracle Zima Zubuwa is unfortunately not with us today, but hopefully she'll be able to join us as we go along. Now, I'm properly excited about our guest today because we have been hoping and praying that we get to speak to him since last year, actually. I was introduced to him by Z right here on this podcast when she mentioned a song of his, the new national anthem, where he raps in multiple South African languages. This guy was born in Tembisa. He began his music journey in 2010, and he has so far released two mixtapes, The Arrival and Pieces of Me, and an EP titled Thank You. Sonically, is in a league of his own. Lyrically, he's on a different planet completely. He's pulling a chair to sit on the table with the all-time greats. If rap needed just one person to take the game to a new level, I know that this is the guy to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, today the Oracles have the honor of introducing to you the most exciting rapper today, a game changer. His ID card says he is Bongani Shiba, but we all know him as Landrose. Landrose, how you doing, my man?
I've got to tell you, man. I have to tell you. That
Yeah.
is the best intro I've ever got, dog. Like, what? What? Nah, man, I gotta give you props. I have to
thank
give
you
you
very
props,
much.
man. Wow.
No,
Wow. I mean,
yeah,
but like, I was even about to tell you, bro. I was even about to tell you, bro, please make sure you're recording this because wow, I need this. What? That's crazy, man. That was so damn dope. That was so damn dope.
No, thank you very much, man. If you need the recording for the intro, I'll actually do a proper one. So it's in proper quality, better than what we have today.
Trust me, man. That was awesome. Yay, that was
Yeah.
awesome. That was
Thank you
awesome.
very much, man.
I started feeling way too important now. Way too
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
No, but you are important, man. You are really important. Now, Landrose, generally, right, generally with our guests, I like to start with the name because there's usually an interesting story there. Where does the name
Yes.
Landrose come from?
So the name Landrose comes from, there's a saying that goes, there's no rose without a thorn, right?
Yeah.
So in my understanding, that saying definitely means nobody's perfect, right? So understanding that in this world, nobody's actually perfect. I fell in love with just the phrase on its own. And I wanted to incorporate that with coming from South Africa, the motherland, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, there's no rose without a thorn. But now how do I merge that with something that has to do with South Africa since I'm from South Africa? So I was like, from the motherland, land rose. Oh, wow. This actually has a nice ring to it. And then from there, I was like, you know what? I'm running with it. This has a nice ring to it, man. So I stuck with it ever since.
Yeah. And when was this actually? When did you come up with the name?
This was this was probably 2011 or 2012.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 2011.
Yeah, so looking about 11, 12 years ago. But then if you started your music journey like in 2010, which name did you use before Landrose?
I was going around as well. My first name was Bongani, so I was going as Lil B. And then I was like, nah, man, there's a lot of Lils. There's a lot of Lils. There's Lil whoever. I mean, we all took the inspiration from Lil Wayne, and everybody wanted to be like Lil Wayne. So it was like Lil B, Lil this and that. And I was like, nah, man, if I'm gonna be different, I'm gonna need something with great substance, man. Something very important, So
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
Nah, this won't cut it. This won't cut it. So
yeah, and if you actually stuck with like Lil B, at some point, because you weren't going to be Lil forever, at some point you're just going to have to go with B. So yeah,
yeah. So I just felt like, hell no, man. Imagine I'm all grown right now. I'm like, what, Big B? Hell no. Nah. So I had to find something that could work for me, and I felt like I absolutely found it. And it's like it's got a very, very important meaning, and till this day, people have grown to be familiar with Landrose, and just it's like a household name, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
So yeah, made a great
yeah,
decision.
yeah, and it's very easy to remember as well. It's not like any other name. You cannot confuse it with anybody else. Landrose is Landrose, and we know who we're talking about. Now, Landrose, take us
Yeah,
back.
absolutely,
Take
absolutely.
us take us back to the earlier days before there was Landrose. What was Bongani exposed to, and how
Yeah,
did he spend his afternoons after school?
he was always going to the studio. He'd never even go home to change first. He would always, as soon as the school bell rings,
Yeah,
straight to the studio, and that would always get me in trouble with my mom because my mom was like, "Angikwaleli ukuthi uhambe uyenze lo mculo wakho, mara kumele ubuyele endlini uzoshintsha kuqala. Uyeke
yeah,
le sitayela sakho sokuhamba udlala nge-uniform." Mama this, mama that. But she was just against the fact that like buya endlini kuqala sikubone ukuthi ubuyile. Then you
yeah,
can go to your studio. Now, uhamba nama-uniform, asikwazi noma ubuyile esikoleni or awubuyanga. And it was just wild, you know. So most of my afternoons was just like that. It's like, I mean, I started in 2010, so it was it's crazy because the minute I fell in love with just I've always been in love with just music itself, but making music, it's just it made me change like entirely, and I stuck to I stuck to just the habit of always wanting to be in studio, whether
yeah,
it's like weekdays or weekends. I just want to go to the studio, and oftentimes I never even got the chance to record as much because when you're a kid, it's like um, I don't think you are as important as people that are coming to the studio with solid plans and a budget. You just go there to be like, yo, I think I'm talented. I think I can. And there's people who don't think. There's people who go there because they know what they came there to do. So I would
yeah,
always just never used to get a chance to record. But I think just being there for the longest of time really helped me. Like it exposed me to how I should approach things and what to look out for. And even just get to understand that, you know what, it doesn't matter just how talented I thought I was. I needed to work harder because there's people who came prepared. So
yeah,
it's like it taught me to just wait my turn, basically.
yeah.
So yeah, man, it was just wild. My afternoons were just like that. I used to go to the studio, hardly record, but would always hope and wish for like a session here and there. But it would happen only once in a while. So
Yeah.
yeah, not
Yeah.
complaining though.
Yeah, and we can hear that all those times that you spent in the studio just sitting there, it actually did something for you because man, your music is just on another level. Because I mean, when you actually expose yourself to an environment, you don't always have to take part. You just have to be there, and it does something for you. But yeah, I
Yes.
want to know when did you actually start writing music? Do you remember when? And what
Yeah.
and also, do you remember the first song that you actually wrote?
I tell you, man, you don't even want to hear the lyrics.
Yeah,
It was bad, bad, bad. But also, I'm not ashamed because I've come so damn far, and I understand we all start somewhere.
yeah.
I started in 2010 to actually write music. I started writing in 2010. It was around the World Cup,
Okay.
so I still remember the first two. Oh, well, I remember probably the first verse or something. But hey,
Yeah.
uh it makes me cringe every time I think about it. Now it just
Yeah.
makes me cringe. But I remember I was like, the song was titled "My Town" because I didn't know
Okay.
what to say. I mean, you asked me about subject matter at that age. I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So I remember I was like, "This is my town, and I was born and created in this town. I'll take my chick to the club. It's going down." I was like, so it was just like, bro, like, hey, it was just wild, man. It was just like I
Yeah.
wasn't even saying nothing. I thought I was just piecing words together to
Yeah.
just rhyme, but I wasn't making any sense. But I guess we all start somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. We really do. We really do start somewhere. Now, with the music that you've been exposed to,
Yeah.
what kind of music were you exposed to at home, or rather growing up?
I think I was just more interested in the mainstream hip hop from the States, basically, if I could be honest with you. And I think they were getting a lot of push, man, because you'd have them charting everywhere, even in this country. You know, it's like
Yeah.
we were more exposed to your Lil Wayne, your Drakes, your Eminems, your 50 Cents, your Kanye's, you know. But I grew up listening to the likes of Lil Wayne, Drake, Kanye West, Eminem, um, Chris Brown, Jordan Sparks, your Kerry Hilson. Most of the time, it's absolutely crazy because I've always felt like, I mean, we had more artists to look out for and be inspired by when we look into the country. Like you had your Tear Gas as well, you had your Pro Kid, you had your Proverbs, you had your Double HPs. I
Mm.
think I had my time with them as well, but not as much as I did with the international guys. I don't know. I just felt like their push was different, man. You know, and
Yeah.
they had like that global standard. You know, that global standard, and their level was just too. You know, it's too impeccable. And I just felt like, yo, I look up to these guys. Like these guys are amazing. They made the flashing lifestyle fashionable. You know,
Mm.
they made lyricism like a thing of what? I felt like they were teaching me a lot more than I learned at school. Because I
Yeah.
remember most of the times I would listen to them, and when there were times when I didn't understand, I would actually go and do a research like on Google or the dictionary, and I'd find out what this means and what they meant. So I was like, oh damn, this is a double entendre. Oh, this is what they mean, like your figures of speech and all that. And then I
Yeah.
got to realize this one day when I was in class, and then this English teacher, I think they were teaching us um, figures of speech, and I don't know. I don't know. I remember he was asking the question, which obviously he thought to himself, none of us would know. And I happen to know this because I was listening to hip hop and I did more research about what something meant, and I got the answer, and it was very sharp. I feel like everybody in the class was like, "Well, how the
Yeah.
hell does he know that?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, like this hip hop thing is really teaching me a lot." And
Yeah.
legit, and to me it was so much fun because it was like I was always listening to it. You know, you listen to it for fun, for excitement, for knowledge, and it was just like teaching me a lot more. So I guess that's what I was mostly exposed to, and that's how it worked for me. You know?
Yeah. And because I understand though that entire. I mean, I grew up basically. I also grew up listening to hip hop, even though I was exposed to quite a lot of different music. But for me personally,
Yeah,
here at home, I'm basically the hip hop guy here at home. Second,
yeah,
maybe to my brother. But
yeah.
I want to know where do you actually draw your inspiration from when you decide that actually, you know what, this is what I want to do with my music right now. This is where I want to go. Where does the inspiration come from?
So I'll be very honest with you. What's crazy about me is I draw inspiration from something totally different and a
Yeah.
different genre to that matter. You'd be
Okay.
so surprised.
Yeah.
When people listen to me, they think I listen to your Hobson, uh, your Eminem, your whoever. Look, I used to listen to Bad Meets Evil, Eminem, obviously at a certain point in time, but
Yeah.
most of my time, I listen to a Chris Brown.
Yeah.
I listen to
Really?
a Brandy. I am so in love with R&B more than, hey, bro. It's. I know it sounds crazy, but it's like I fell in love with R&B first before
Yeah.
I got to be in hip hop. So with hip hop, it's just the knowledge and understanding how to do it and teaching myself how to approach records and show my skill. But the heart has always been on the R&B side, and then
Yeah.
that's just crazy. I don't know. I listen to R&B most of my time for fun, and just I think it also keeps the compassion in me. You know, that's
Yeah.
crazy. But hip hop, hip hop. I do listen to the likes of but I guess it depends. I do listen to to the likes of your Drake. I still
Mm.
do right now. Lil Wayne will always. But obviously now times have changed. I will listen to your Big Sean as well. Big Sean, shout out Big Sean. Um, a lot of different people, man. And I used to listen to YFM back in the day when they used to have a full clip season scoop.
Oh yeah.
That's what used to be exciting for me. I always wanted to listen to those guys because then I felt like they're like closer to home. So if they could get themselves on that platform and show just how talented they were, I felt like I could work just as hard to be on that level and absolutely get myself on that platform, which never got to happen. But I used to listen to more of that as well. And I always wanted to make sure that, whoever left the studio this week and made a great impression, I needed to make sure, I'm going harder than that particular person. So I always wanted to just train myself harder and harder to be like, I need to raise the bar, man. When I actually get the chance, I need to do a lot more than these guys. So yeah, that's where most of my influence came from.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting that you mentioned that you listen to a lot of R&B, because this is something that Z and myself sometimes like to say, that if you're a musician, especially in hip hop, you have to understand that you cannot only listen to rap music, because I like samples. I like to figure out samples quite a lot, and when you listen to a lot of the biggest hits in the world, a lot of them they're found in jazz music. If you listen to a lot of jazz music, you listen to your Herb Alpert, you listen to your Quincy Jones, you listen to your Isaac Hayes. Now you'll find quite a lot of samples in there. And another interesting thing is that I found out that the Isley Brothers Between the Sheets has been sampled, I think, around 150 times or so. And a lot of people not figure that out because they only listen to rap music. So as a musician, especially as whether you're a producer or you're a rapper in hip hop, it's very important to listen to something else other than rap music, because you'll find some gems in other genres. Yeah, but anyway, this is not about me. Yeah, it's not about me. This is it's all about you. Now, I want to know, because I understand that in 2010 that's when your music journey started. In high school, you decided that you're going to be writing music. But now, do you remember the moment where you actually made the conscious decision that, you know what, rap music is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
It was probably 2016 or 17. So obviously I started in 2010, but I never used to do it like full time like others would, and I was never really consistent with it throughout the years. So what I did was, at a certain time, it almost made me fail at school. So I had to take a pause, like, oh hell, no, I cannot afford to do that because I'm not no slow learner or a dumb nigga. What the hell am I doing? So I had to be like, okay, wait. I remember it always got me into trouble. So I had to pause a bit, and I would only do it December holidays, right? So I did that for the rest of my high school years, and then I remember 2016 or 2017. So my mom was actually a huge fan of mine. She was like very supportive. So I remember there was a song that I did titled "This Is Who I Am." That song, I remember I recorded her speaking about me and how I came up and how much of a troublesome kid I was back in the day, but how I just happened to grow up and change and just become the type of person I am right now, and how she's so proud of me and how it's unbelievable. Like my transition has just been a miracle, right? So, that song just it just became like a permanent thing, like a permanent thing I could have and always listen to whenever I want, to always remind myself that, I stand for something great right now. I stand for something amazing. And I remember the first song, well, not the first song, but the first song I did with another producer, which was titled "I Am Rising," and I did that in 2012. I did with this guy named Luther King. That song, I remember after doing it, my mom immediately made it her ringtone for the rest of, I don't know for how many years. She made it a ringtone since. Very, very supportive. And then it just made me realize just how important this is. I mean, at first I thought it was just a hobby, but just realizing how supportive she was. And even after I'd finished school, I got my first job and I was working as a cashier at a casino. Still doing that, working and also making time to go to the studio and record. And she was just so supportive, man, throughout, And then I realized at a certain point in time, I want to be able to take my mom to certain places and make her live the best life ever, you know? And I feel like
Yeah.
I have the potential to do that. But I do not believe that I can do that off of um maybe working the job I was working back in the day. So I felt
Mm.
like, okay, nah, I need something totally different. Something that obviously got us connected was the music. And also she was a singer herself. And that's one thing,
Okay.
like she had a major influence on me because she was a singer.
Yeah.
And that just made me realize, nah, man, this right here means something. You know, I feel like I could do it full time. And then there was a time where she fell sick and I had to um step up obviously and take care of the family. So when I realized, you know what, meaning she is Spanish because now I need to ninja. So
Yeah.
meaning she's Spanish and look after her because I feel like she needs me a lot more. And then I just realized now, if there's a financial plan to be made here, I'll make it via the music. I guess now I have people that follow me, that show me love. What if I record a mixtape and sell it? And I remember I did that and people were buying. And I was like, you know what? I can actually feed my family off of this and stop treating it like a hobby
Yeah.
because it already means so much. And my mom is very supportive. So why not do that? And that's where everything just changed for me. Everything. I was like, you know what?
Hey,
I'm doing this entirely. I'm just gonna push as much as I can to live off of this music. And I have got the support I've always needed from that one person who means the world to me. So yeah, man. That's how
yeah.
I followed it through.
Yeah. And no, no, man, I have to thank you for actually taking up music on a permanent basis or on a full-time basis rather. Yeah, because man, your music is just incredible. It is really, really incredible. Now that now that we're
Thank you,
there,
man.
right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
that we're there, I want you to take us through two of your songs. The first
Yeah.
one being your latest single, "What a Time in South Africa," and then the second one.
Yes.
And I hope you're not tired of talking about this one, the new national
Oh, no,
anthem.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
no.
Please take us through those two songs, man, because those two songs, I think, um, they're two of my favorite. When I listen
Yeah.
to all that you're doing, two of my
Yeah.
favorite songs, especially the new national anthem, because of how amazing it is that
Yeah.
you were able to go through, you're able to change those languages without skipping a beat, and you're still keeping your message throughout the entire song. It's not a gimmick. It doesn't sound gimmicky. It's
Yeah.
like a proper song. Please take us through
Yeah.
those two songs.
So let me start with the new national anthem.
Yeah,
2020. So I was on a learnership. Um, even after I quit. So I'll just take you prior to 2020. So my mom
yeah,
left us in 2018. So I remember when she left, like I was lost for quite some time. I did not even know what to do. Like
yeah,
everything I could think of doing just didn't mean a lot to me anymore because she was gone. And I really wanted to do that specifically for her. So it
yeah,
was just like, what now? I mean, you can't, there's no amount of motivation that could really push me to be fired up and follow something through. Like my desire is just to make my mom happy. I've always wanted to just give her like the best life. So now it's like I am forced to change my approach to this life. So I don't know what to do. I literally
yeah,
do not know. So I remember at the time I was like, I don't know. I don't want to go get a job, man. Like I've already decided that I'm gonna follow through with this music. So I'm not trying to give me like a 9 to 5 because it's like whatever job I can think of right now won't be my favorite. And I won't be doing it because I want to.
yeah,
I'll just be doing the job. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna take anything that has to do with a job, it has to be, I have to learn from it or something. So I remember I took up this learnership. It was a contact call center. And I was like, well, let me try this learnership and see how it goes. So I took
yeah,
it 2019, 2019, and then um, so obviously it was like a 1 year learnership.
yeah,
So early 2020, COVID hit, right? So when COVID hit, that's where we had to wrap up the learnership because, hey man, so many people were losing jobs, losing so many things. So learnership got cut at the time. So I was like, okay, cool. So now I guess I'm back to just doing the music because right now people are losing jobs in the country. So how can I be out there looking for another job? Because
Yeah.
We're in a crazy state. Nobody knows how to move, what to do. So you know what? Let me just follow up with the music. And I followed up with the music. I remember I was doing all these challenges, these daily videos, TikTok videos, Triller videos. I was doing a lot of videos, just writing each and every single day and just posting off of just my own phone each and every single time. So then I realized, I put myself on the challenge to be incomparable. Because I felt like, look, we could all be dope, but it's very few people that are incomparable. Like you listen to somebody in this country, you feel like I could hear another A Reese or I could hear another Nasty C, but you can't hear another Landrose.
Yeah.
Tough. You can't hear another blah 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 blah. Right? It's like there has to be something. These guys have found their niche. It's like they have something that makes them incomparable. A Reese has his own identity. Nasty has his own identity. Pretty much everybody that's in the mainstream. But I needed something that's just gonna separate me from everyone else that's on the come up. And I was like, I know something I believe I might be good at. So let me put it to the test. So I remember the first time I took up this challenge and I was just rapping on I think it was R.I.P. Costa Titch. It was Costa Titch's Galagata instrumental. So I took that instrumental and I remember my approach to it was using 5 languages. And then I did that. And I remember the response was crazy. I was like, okay, let me do 6 now. And I did 6 out of it. The next one was J. Cole's. What's that song? No. There was a Drake. God, I forgot the name, but I'll tell you some of the time. Took up that Drake beat. Then I did 6 languages on it, and then it got crazy attention. So like, okay, I'm done using other people's beats now. Let me go reach out to my producer, tell him, yo, I have an idea. And this is how I want to approach this new single. And this is what it's going to be titled. I remember I recorded the new national anthem it was on a Thursday evening. And I promised people I was going to drop on Friday. And I said to them, I think I'm about to drop the best verse ever in South Africa. And it was just like, well, people just wanted to say, they're about to. And to just make sure that I made that possible, it took a lot. Because I had to stay in the studio overnight and not sleep. And I remember I did that, just piecing up different languages. I'm like, okay, let me do Zulu manch. Let me do Xitsonga manch. Let me switch and try Chivenda now. Okay. So all these pieces, I'm putting them together. And I want them to gel at this point. So it takes a lot to pull that off. It takes a lot. It really took a lot for me. But I remember I was left with about 2 languages at like 3 a.m. And that was on a Friday morning now. Yeah. So I'm out there with Luther King. Luther King is getting some rest. And I'm like, nah, it's fine. Let him get some rest. I just need to complete this. As soon as I'm done with this, I will wake him up, we'll record. And I remember it was around the AMs. So I started recording, I think around 6 a.m. But I'm so tired. I am so tired right now. I've been up the whole night. I've been writing pieces of this together. And I'm like, I want it to make sense. I want it to sound like something that gels, because otherwise it'll be just like something else that was just forced. And so we did it. And I remember after recording it, I was like, I think we got something. So I said to him, so we're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to shoot a video. I need to memorize everything that I just recorded right now. So I'll shoot it nyana khona la sizovela nje sususe yonke into la siyishuthele ebondeni this thing. I'm just going to stand right next to a wall and rap all these things, and we're just going to do it in black and white. Yeah. And I was tired. I'm not sure if that was visible, but I looked like yesterday in that video. So when we did that, I remember we had a hard time. After we shot the video, we tried editing it and then export it. So when we tried exporting it, it took a while. Like it was just like the laptop was so slow. And we didn't know what the problem was. And then we had to go to a different location to actually charge. So once we charged, so we could actually export. So all that took like hours and hours. And I was like, eh, I wonder why this is taking so long. What if it's taking so damn long? And yeah, we were about to see something. I remember we got back like higher, we exported that, and then in an hour it was done. We posted that video. Within the first hour, we had got 1,000 shares. And
Oh,
I was like,
jeez.
eh? And I was like, what? 1,000 shares in the first hour. And I was like, hey, let me log out. Logged out,
Yeah.
I put my warrior. Yeah. I started seeing that video go up to like 4K shares. Now you have people with different accounts downloading my video,
Yeah.
reposting it on their own accounts. And when they repost from their own accounts, their accounts get crazy
Crazy.
shares.
Yeah.
It was absolutely crazy now. Now the song was just like, it started flying. And that was how the new national anthem was made. And then I remember when it started gaining crazy traction, I had people from radio reaching out to me, even your DJs from YFM, like DJ Zan-D, shout out DJ Zan-D. He reached out to me like, yo, bro, that new single that you just dropped, man. Could you please send us an MP3? I remember for the longest of time, I wanted to find out how to get my songs played on radio. I was sending
Yeah.
emails, doing this, no response. Now you have people from radio reaching out to you, asking for your song so they could play it. I was
And
like,
that's
that is
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was wild. So everyone else from just different radio stations started asking for the song, sent the song through. I started seeing the internet going wild. My video was just all over. But now, the most unfortunate thing about this song is that we did it in a time where it was absolutely crazy. It was lockdown level 5. We couldn't go out to perform this
Oh,
record anywhere.
yeah.
Oh, bro, yo, that was such a
But,
sad moment. We couldn't go out and perform this record anywhere
right.
in the country because we were under lockdown level 5.
Done. Yeah.
So, man, the hype went on until it died, man. And we were still under lockdown. I was so sad that we couldn't even go out and perform it. But, we would go on later on to perform the song. But it just went on to be like this, like the most, I don't know. It was probably one of the best songs in 2020 because during that time, people were climbing up and were in better situations. But even though we felt like we were still in the same position, it was really moving.
Yeah.
Like people grew
Because,
familiar with it.
yeah, because I was actually about to ask that in retrospect,
Mhm.
even though there was lockdown level
Yes.
5, if things were
Yes.
normal, do you think the song would have still done the same numbers as compared to now lockdown? Because I mean, but when you actually look
Absolutely.
back, when you look back, there weren't a lot of new songs coming out during lockdown. A lot of
Mhm.
artists weren't really doing much during that time. So you were actually one of the people that kept people company. You kept us company in our homes when we had nothing to do. And it's actually a reminder for some people who actually saw or heard that song during lockdown to say, actually, not the first time I heard this song, it was during lockdown level 5. Yeah, but do you think we would have done the
Yeah.
same if things were normal?
I think it would have went on to develop like crazy, crazy, crazy traction.
Yeah,
And I think the type of push it would have got was gonna be amazing because
yeah,
I felt like we were just limited. We were pushing it from home and our
yeah,
phones and the internet. If I were in
yeah,
different spaces performing this record to different crowds and different audiences, it would have been amazing. Would have grown to a different level. I probably wouldn't even would have shot like a music video for it, like a proper music video,
yeah,
and it was going to be played on national TV, on radio, spread like the most. So I felt like we were limited. Look, don't get me wrong. I understand we were on lockdown level 5 and not a lot of people were dropping music, but you had mainstream people releasing music either way. Good
yeah,
music, by the way. But
yeah,
and they still weren't getting the same amount of traction. So at that case, I had released a song that was very unique, the first kind, the first of its kind in SA hip hop, the first of its kind.
yeah.
So I felt like I gave them something totally different, and it was just incomparable. So it was hard to just ignore it,
It was.
whether we were, in the outer space or whatever. But it was just too hard to ignore it, and I felt like if we were really outside, I probably would have met um, different people who would have helped to push it like the right way.
Yeah.
I found a lot of people who've been showing me support. Shout out to the likes of Rashid K. There were a lot of people that were showing me like support. Your Tuso Mbedu. Look, there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we were just in a limited space, man. You can't really push a song like that only via the internet and just sitting on your phone. You have to be out there. People need to see you. People need to hear you. People need to experience you. So I felt like we couldn't give them that experience, until the hype started falling off. But yeah, it would have been dope though.
But that I actually get it. I get what you say, and I actually see it as well. That if things were actually normal, would have been much bigger than it actually was. I actually wouldn't have found out about you last year. I would have found out about you in 2020 already. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, it's great that now that we're here. Yeah, but also want to hear before we actually go on to what a time in South Africa. I want to know where did you learn to speak so many languages?
I think Kulilokshini has this thing where, especially if you're a person that pays attention, you will learn a lot of things. I mean, I never went to a private school, so so you will have a school that caters for Tsonga speaking people. Also, you will have a school that caters for Zulu speaking people. Look, obviously we learned English. There's a lot of languages. And so when we grow up as kids, we have friends, right? When you have a friend, the kid from next door could be Bedi, the kid from next door could be Xhosa, the kid from next door could be Zulu. So you spend a lot of time with these folks. You realize at a certain point, sometimes men understand that. Entirely, but when you're a kid, ubamba fast is it? The more you spend time engaging with people or learning certain things, like it's and then I remember even when I was working at a casino, was exposed to different work environments. So when people speak, I just like listening. I'm not interested in the conversation, but I'm mostly interested in understanding just what you're saying. I want to understand like uti, like what does this word mean? And the more logging the more and then even when I went to this learnership year call center, I remember even there I linked up with from different cultures with different languages, and it's like you just have to listen. And I feel like that'll always be an advantage, because sometimes to make it easier for you, sometimes you'll see a very gorgeous lady, right? Who just so happens to speak a language you don't understand. Now, because I understand, and you really like this lady. So don't kill your chances of getting the one, bruh. Because you can't understand the language. Now I would rather be at an advantage than disadvantage. I feel like it'll always work in your favor when you get to learn all these languages. And in some workplaces, the craziest thing is in some workplaces, you are required to be able to speak certain languages. It's like an interpreter. I remember this one time I seen a post here, the court interpreter. They required a person, obviously English is one of them, but they required a person to be able to speak Zulu and Sotho. Maybe if you're from a specific location, let's say you're from the Vaal, maybe people from the Vaal like speaking Sesotho. You need to speak Sesotho and maybe Setswana and a bit of Zulu to be able to be that type of an interpreter in that specific location. That's how they allocate and they actually recruit. So you're like, so you see, you're gonna miss out on these opportunities if you don't enlighten yourself with all these other things, man. So it's very important to just know a lot of things.
No, I get it because I'm actually trying to learn Arabic as well. But hopefully I'll be able to catch it. And actually the reason why I decided that I want to learn Arabic is because I saw a Lil Wayne interview where he was I don't know if you saw this, but he was at an airport. I think they were being ill-treated or something like that. And then I think it was I think one of the I think it's the owner or manager of the place,
or the,
but
or
very
the
very rich guy.
president.
Yeah, very, very rich guy. He saw
Mm.
what happened and he found out what happened, and it was like, okay, you know what? I'm sorry about this whole thing. What do you like? Do you like Ferrari or Lamborghini? And Goodwin was taken aback by that. That's a very random question. Well, why would you ask that?
Yeah,
But I like
yeah.
Lamborghini. It's like, okay, it's fine.
Mm.
And then they got on the flight and they went home. And a couple of weeks later, a Lamborghini was delivered to his house as an apology, to say sorry
Mm.
for what happened.
Bro,
So,
bro,
so yeah, I'm
you
not
you
saying
know
that
where the
this.
money's at.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the same thing would happen to me, but I'm very curious because I actually would love to visit countries like the Middle East and all of that, and I would love to be able to communicate with them in their language instead of forcing them to speak English or expecting them to speak English. But yeah, that is just me, and yeah, but I'll catch it. I'll catch it.
Never know, man.
So
They might as well. They might just Lil Wayne you as well. Like,
yeah,
bow. What color
yeah.
do you want?
Yeah. So it might happen. It might happen. But now let's go to your latest single, What a Time in South Africa.
Yes,
What is the
yes.
story behind that? Because that one also is a very, very beautiful song.
Oh man, you know what the crazy thing is about what a time in South Africa. I received big shout out to Kaiser Beats. Shout out
Yeah.
to Kaiser Beats. He produced that. I asked him for to work around that specific idea, and he brought that beat to life, man. So shout out to him. um, what a time in South Africa. I felt like, look, there's just a lot that was going on, man. I'm about to release more of my music, but I feel like there's just a lot of things that aren't spoken about here. And in hip hop, we are legit like the voice that pens down everything. So it's really it's really rare to come across people who express themselves entirely and speak about these topics, without fear or whatever, because it's like it's our reality. It is our reality. So at this point, I just felt like, you know what, man, I want to get something off of my chest. Just speak about what I'm seeing in the country,
Yeah.
before I could tap into just re releasing other music off of my own creativity or just whatever, my own, um, I don't know. But at this point, I felt like I just needed to address something. And it's okay. Not all of us have to do it, but when you're in hip hop, you're legit like the voice, man. And it's like I've been seeing a lot of these things. We all deal with load shedding. We all come across these crazy potholes when we travel. We all just stuck in the middle of so much that's going on, and we don't even know where we stand.
Yeah.
And it's really just, hey, man, it's depressing, man.
So,
So I just felt like I just need to speak about this, man. I don't want to give it too much attention. I'm not really focusing on that, but I just want to speak about it because I feel like I'm not the only one that sees it. Surely there'll
yeah.
be some people that see it as well. So I felt like just opening up and just speaking about how I felt and get that out the way. And so
Yeah.
I did. And a lot was also happening. And we had like these artists just dying, man,
Sure.
at a crazy rate. And and nah, but it's just a whole lot of stories that are just climbing up. In the middle of all of that, you just don't know what the hell is
Let's
happening,
go.
you know?
Yeah.
And when you just listen to the first lyric of a song, it's like the devil keeps finding ways to invite death. But when we die, they say God took his people back. If it ain't suicide, you're getting gunned down in the
Yeah.
streets. All we see is history repeat itself. We living in dark times. If you ain't talk to God in a minute, might be time for you to reconnect. Let the higher powers guide you or redirect you. So, like, all these things, I'm just like, man, what the hell is happening? Like, so damn much is happening. Nobody has the answers to it.
Just, yeah.
And it's like, we're supposed to, I don't know, we're supposed to just be like, oh man, it's another day, another death. Okay. We live to see another one. Just like that. I don't know. I just don't know how that works.
But
So I
yeah.
just felt like, look, man, I feel like there's just something. So let me not let it bother me that much, but I would rather just speak on it and at least get it off my chest. And I'll find people who relate to it, and people who absolutely loved it. which is not just, it's not a type of song I could say, oh, I'm so proud of, I'm happy, but I was just literally venting, basically.
Yeah.
I didn't do it just to get props or anything, because I feel like that's not the type of record that people keep on their playlists. People listen to that record because they want to enlighten themselves. They also want to be in a place where they're like, hey man, at least I know someone else notices this thing and someone else is trying to find a way to deal with it. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the best way to move forward is. But as a young person, I just feel like, hey, let me just express myself, man. Whoever relates will relate. Maybe we'll get to share ideas with some people. And sometimes you have conversations with people that tell you what they think, what the state of the country is, how they would advise even certain people in their positions should move, including like artists, the things we should look out for, because a lot of these things, man, were happening and we don't even know where we stand. Is it an intentional thing, or are people just legit dying? It's like, are people being hunted? Like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
You know, nobody knows. Nobody knows. So you just feel like, hey man, as a young person, I don't know what the hell is going on, but I am not with this type of movement, man. You know, I feel like we as South Africans like focusing on just trends, but we just need to know what the hell is happening and not shy away from it. Let's just speak on it. As an artist, the best thing I can do, I don't have power to change certain things, but I can speak on it.
Yeah.
There's people who have the power to do something. So my kind of power um is influence off of my music, you know. So let me speak on it. Hopefully it'll influence someone to at least think for the next person and approach matters in a better way, because we're already going through a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I just wanted to
Yeah.
share that.
And man, it's a very beautiful song, and it actually it hits when you actually properly sit down and listen to it, and it says something. It says something,
Yeah,
especially to people who also think the same way that you do, who notice things the same way that you do. That things are not really normal. Everything that is happening,
yeah,
especially around celebrities in particular, because they are the ones that we see mostly on TV and on the internet. But generally in life in South Africa right now, things are not normal. They're not the way that they're supposed to be. And for you to actually use your voice and to tell that story and to bring awareness to people who don't fully notice it, it really does something, and it says something. It has a place. Your music has a place
mm,
in our society today, and hopefully it will be just like Tupac, where even 20 years after you're gone, after you're done with music, it will still say something. It will still stay relevant at the time, even though we
yeah,
hope that things do get better. But yeah, I think it will stay it will stay relevant. But how would you actually describe your
absolutely.
music? How would you describe your music?
Hmm. You know, people have found terms to describe their music, but I just describe my music as music.
Yeah.
I'm very honest with you. Um, it's just a pure expression of myself. You know, when I'm happy, I make happy records. When I'm sad, I make sad records. But also, the sad record is not to make other people sad. It's just to let them know about my experiences. So I always make music off of my own experiences. I like
Yeah.
taking that, and sometimes I speak about the things I see from other people. So it's like I speak on their behalf, and it's just honestly just a pure expression of what I'm going through, what I'm seeing, what other people are going through. So it's like just purely music. I don't want to say, no, I'm doing conscious, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. No, I just make music, man, you know? And I'm not trying to box myself. And I think for the longest time, I've heard people say, yeah, he's a conscious rapper, blah, blah. I'm not a conscious rapper. I could be conscious sometimes, but I'm not a
Yeah.
conscious rapper. You're about to realize just how much fun I get to have and how much fun I can be. Because sometimes I just want to play around, man. I don't want to always say serious things. It limits me at a certain point. You know, I'm. Look, dude, I am very, very youthful,
Yeah.
right? I want to have some fun as well. I want to say some stuff that just my peers can relate to and be like, "Oh, snap, he's crazy."
Is it?
Just have
Yeah.
some fun, you know. I want to tap into as many sounds as possible and grow musically because I think now we've grown to a point where hip hop actually makes you selfish if you take a good look at it. Hip
Mm.
hop expects you to cater for it and only it. It's like once you start branching out and you cater for different audiences and different genres, it's like I don't know, you're a sellout or something. No, not even.
Yeah,
I just
Reason
feel
went
it
through
was.
that with Amapiano.
I mean, look, it's
But
very fair. It's understandable, but look how it's working out for him. It's absolutely
yeah,
amazing. That
yeah,
transition was absolutely the most amazing thing I've seen in SA hip hop. It's
yeah,
working just beautifully for him. And shout out to him, by the way. At least as someone also gotten a chance to work with, and I've seen how that transition worked
just
for him.
yeah,
So you realize a person like me listens to a Chris Brown most of his time. How do you expect me to do hip hop only when the person I listen to does just about everything in the
everything.
world?
Yeah,
Everything. I cannot be
yeah,
boxed in. I think I'm the one that's been boxing myself in. Um, I've been boxing myself in for quite a long time, but now not anymore,
uh,
man. Also, I needed to just change my approach, look at things in a different way, and just realize how I've been presenting myself to people. So it's been cool. It's been fun. It's gonna be times where I'm always gonna be conscious. At a certain time, I'll be conscious and I'll be expressing myself entirely. But also, I want to have fun, man. Like I want you to also play me when you're happy. Don't play me when you're
yeah.
going through a crazy time only, or when the country's just showing you flames. Play me when you're
Yeah,
having fun as well. I want to be part of everybody's playlist. Well, not everybody, but for the most part, everybody's welcome. You know?
yeah, yeah. Basically, you want to be
Yeah.
there for every
Every
season in
season,
our
bro. Every
lives. Yeah,
season.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Now,
And you know what? Chose and I actually chose this. I chose to do this full time. So why would I limit myself off of just sticking to one genre, which is not even the biggest genre in the country? So you see, I am absolutely limiting myself and my influence as well as my impact. Because I can
yeah,
still, it's not like I'm gonna stop rapping. I'll still be rapping, but let me also attract different people, bring them into hip hop, or also introduce myself to other genres and let them know, yo, this is what I used to do with hip hop. And this is how I used to do it. And
yeah.
just branch out entirely, man, have an impact everywhere I go.
Yeah, no,
Everywhere I go.
yeah, no, it's beautiful, especially when you actually consider that when you're a rapper, especially like yourself, you're not
Mm-hmm.
just you shouldn't just limit yourself to hip hop. You shouldn't just limit yourself to rap. And you've only got one life to live, and you've got one career to do it in. So whatever it
Yeah.
is that you want to do, you should be able to do it. And we also mentioned this about Reason some time ago. That Reason is a songwriter. And for Andy, he's one of
Yes.
the best songwriters that we have. So if he wants to take that songwriting to Amapiano, he should be able to do that. It's nobody
Yeah,
else's
absolutely.
business except his, because at the end of the
Yeah,
day, he is
absolutely.
making music and he is making people happy with his music, and it's also making him happy. Because he's also been through some hard times, and going through those hard times, nobody who is persecuting him for going into Amapiano was there to assist him. He had to go through that alone.
In hip hop.
And yeah, yeah. And now that he wants to do Amapiano, he should also be able to make that decision alone and live with that decision alone. And it's worked out for him.
Yeah.
It's worked out very,
Yeah.
very well. Yeah, but
I mean, he's a grown man who knows. He's a grown
yeah,
man who understands how to approach this music business. And I feel like, look, he's been in it for the longest of time. He
yeah,
understands it a lot more. Look, man, his approach is just insane. And I spoke to him about that transition. I was like, listen, man, I respect you so much for this move. You have no idea. I
yeah,
respect you so much because it legit worked. It legit worked, man. Like people can bash him all they want, but I imagine where would Reason be in hip hop? Because hip hop is not so support. Like you could be amazing and hip hop still won't support you. It's like it caters for whoever it wants at the moment.
yeah.
So when you're not trending, it's like it wants to keep you in the ancestor box. What? Hell no. Nah, go make some money off of another genre, bro. Go
Yeah.
make some money off of another genre. So nah, don't allow it to happen. So I feel like that was a that was a dope transition for him.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
It
such
was.
a dope transition for him because he was being called old, like an OG. Reason is so damn young.
Yeah.
Reason is so damn young, bro. Yeah, rappers in other countries rapping over 50,
Yeah.
50 years old and they rapping, and then they're like the main OGs. You want to
Yeah.
call somebody in his 30s OG? Nah, come on,
Oh
man.
man.
Come on.
I mean, you think about
Come
Rick
on.
Ross. Rick Ross released his first album, I think, in his late 30s, mid or late 30s. And look where he is today. And
Bro,
I mean, imagine being
bro,
in your 30s and you're still a new artist out there. So it's
bro.
yeah. There's a lot that we can talk about that is wrong about how we classify
Yeah.
a great artist in the country. Actually, just musicians. Artists in the country. But yeah, it's not about that today. It's all about you. But we actually are almost out of time, and it's
Yeah.
really a great honor to have you with us. But I still have a few more questions, like two more questions. Where do you
Yeah.
actually first? When are we getting a new project, particularly an album?
An album is still far from coming.
Yeah.
If you ask
Okay.
me when will I be giving you guys an album, honestly, way too far. I have very big plans for my first album. I already have the title. I already have the features in mind. Like I have the right plans for it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna need me to back it up with a whole lot of action, which at the moment I don't have the power to do that. So I'll keep working towards it until I'm in a position where I can give it the respect and the effort and the budget and everything it needs
Yeah.
to play out the way it should, because I truly believe it'll be one of the best in the world,
Yeah.
and I hold myself to that. I really hold myself to that. So at the moment, I am going to release an EP and a mixtape. So this year we're
Yeah.
looking to at least drop like two projects,
Yeah.
possibly three projects. But obviously I've been working, man. I've been working and I've been linking up with different people. And I guess what's really holding me off right now is that, working with different people, you have to adjust to their times and their productivity and just their schedules as well. So
Yeah.
sometimes I could move fast, but I will wait for 2 months for someone to deliver their verse. So sometimes it takes
Yeah.
longer. When you ask for collaborations, this is what you deal with. I'm guilty of that as well. Not because I'm not quick or anything, but there's one specific artist who asked me to deliver a verse for him, and it's such a beautiful record, so damn beautiful that it's an emotional record.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to deliver simply because it requires me to be in an emotional state, and
Yeah.
that takes a lot. So I want to treat it with respect and approach it in the best way possible. Hence, I haven't done it yet, but I understand. I understand how crazy it is to wait for somebody, because I'm
Uh,
also guilty of that basically.
yeah.
But some of the songs are gonna come through pretty soon. I'm trying to work on as much music as I possibly can, but I need to have these features with me because it's not really fun making music by yourself. I mean, this year alone, I've released like 4 singles, and all of them I was by myself. So
Yeah.
nah, I just need to. My next record should at least have a feature, will, which
Yeah.
definitely will. So I'm excited, man. I'm gonna give you some projects
All right.
this year. You hear that?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hearing what you're gonna give us. Now,
Yeah.
let's say five artists that you would love to
Yes.
work with. Who are
Yeah.
they?
In the world or South Africa?
Generally, generally, five artists that you would love to work with.
Chris Brown, number one, always.
Oh, obviously.
Obviously. Number
Yeah.
two, number two, Loiso.
Yeah.
Loiso
Luis
is
Obana.
amazing.
Which
Oh,
one?
no,
Oh,
no, no.
Luis.
Loiso, Loiso, double L.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
He's amazing as well. He's amazing as well.
bro. So this is not in no particular order except for Chris Brown.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, um, Dr. Rebecca Malope. Oh,
Okay.
Whew,
And actually
bro,
saw her perform for the first time this year. She is a proper performer. Like she is,
brother.
dude, she is amazing on stage.
Oh man, like yo, I'll tell you a story one day, bro. Oh, I would
Okay.
really like to work with her. Uh, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah. So far it's Chris Brown, Loiso, Dr. Rebecca Malope. Um, hmm. There's a lady named Alessia Cara. I don't know if you know her.
Nah, no, I don't.
She's from she's from Canada. Amazing writer. Oh, her pen.
Yeah,
And she's a singer. Like, by the way, she's a singer, by the way, but she writes like, listen, man. I think out of all these people I've mentioned, she's probably the best writer.
yeah. Now I'll have to
She
check her
is
out.
amazing. Her name is Alessia Cara. Please do. She is amazing, bro. Absolutely amazing. Um, that's like four, ne?
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta
four.
make sure the last one, man. The last one has to be important. So it's two from that side, two from this side. Who's next? Who's next? I would give it to Nasty C as well.
Okay.
There's still others I would like to feature, but for the top five, I'll also
Yeah.
give it to Nasty C. Nasty, I remember Nasty in 2015. He gave me this type of spark that I've always wanted someone in the country would give me, man. And he just gave me that much hope to be like, yo, there's somebody who can
Yeah.
do this at that level. At that level.
Yeah.
And it's not impossible. It's not
Yeah.
impossible. He's amazing. I don't care if he's trending right now or not. Nasty is arguably the best hip hop artist we've had in
Yeah.
this country.
Yeah. He's a
The
superstar.
best. You know,
Yeah. That
oh, that
guy's a
guy's a
superstar.
superstar. That guy's complete. He is complete. Like when you speak about that guy is complete. He is
Yeah.
amazing, man. And I've always respected him and will always respect him. Like he's just one guy. Like I said, man, from 2015, I've been a super fan. Um, and even till this day, even though I hardly listen to him lately, but I am still such a super fan because I believe he's that great. He's like global excellence.
Yeah.
He's like global excellence. So I believe in him so much, man. Through everything that's happening, I believe in him entirely. So yeah, I'd give it straight to him. Pause, no homo. The number five, give it to him,
Yeah.
man.
And it's actually quite awesome. It's actually quite awesome that you put him at number five because you mentioned two international artists, and then two South African artists, and then Nasty C is actually both. So that actually
Yeah.
works. It balances out very very perfectly.
I mean,
So
look, he like I said, it was in no particular order except for Chris Brown. But
yeah,
Nasty, he was one of the first artists I probably would have mentioned for
yeah.
here in SA. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, no, no, Nasty is super amazing. Now, just to close it off, where do you see your career going? Like, okay, let's actually look at
Oh
the
man,
next 5 years. You look at a career in
yes.
the next 5 years. Where do you see yourself 5 years from today?
Let me see. International artist, man, and
Yeah,
I will put my life on this. I will honestly put my life on this. I wish I could bet with somebody right now to say
uh,
if I am not an international artist in 5 years, and don't get me wrong, I do understand things don't always work out the way that
so,
we want at a time
yeah,
that we want, right?
yeah,
It happens, it's nature, but I will put so damn much on the line.
yeah,
I will put so damn much. I will bet on me with everything I have. In
yeah,
5 years, I will be an international artist. Probably the best to ever come out of South Africa. You know, definitely one of the best to come out of South Africa. But I've had this target for a very long time, and I've been working towards it. And I truly believe I can live up to it. And also, I've come to understand and realize things that have been slowing me down. So I'm doing pretty well right now. I truly believe if I really really stay consistent, 5 years is good enough for me to be an international artist.
Yeah, and you know, I actually do have the caliber for it. I see you actually being up there, as high as you want to be, and I feel like God will also surprise you as well. You go much higher than you expect yourself to be. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, look, if God allows it, it'll definitely happen. But He already knows. I say it in my prayers. I say it in my dreams. I say it in everything I speak of, even in my heart of hearts, man. I speak about it, and I'm like, listen, I am going to make this happen. I am not asking for permission from anybody. I am saying I am going to make this happen. I would bet so much money. I would bet with all my belongings if I have to.
Yeah, and no, actually,
bro.
Yeah, anyone
Literally,
who actually, anyone who bets against, I wouldn't be one who bets against you, because I believe in you. I believe that you're actually going to make it. So anyone who bets against you, is definitely going to lose that bet.
Hey, man, telling you, man. Hey, I'm not trying to bankrupt people.
Yeah, I know
not trying to bankrupt people.
Yeah, here's Z actually, but unfortunately she can't. She can't. You can't see her because there's load shedding. It's very very dark where she is. But yeah, here she is. Z, how are you doing?
Hi guys, sorry about that. Employment is a problem, but hey, you move. I'm still working. I'm waking up at 8 actually, and there's load shedding here. So yeah, like Tuesday is just not with me today. I don't know what's going on. How are you guys doing?
Now I'm good. I'm good, and we actually have Landrose. I mentioned that I actually know him because of you. Here he is.
Yeah. Hi Rose,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you doing?
Well, thank you. Yeah, he actually does know me. He'll know you because of me. I lost my mind when I heard you the first time. I think I saw a video of you actually. You were walking. I don't remember where, but then you were rapping, but you were rapping in like 7 languages.
Yeah.
I literally ran to my WhatsApp. I'm like, dude, you need to check out this guy because what the hell? And I literally spent the entire night on Twitter just checking it out. I'm like, okay, this guy's amazing. Like, he is amazing. And so I'm so happy that I missed this interview. But hey, there'll be a next time.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, I am so damn grateful that you came across my video and you spoke about me and just recommended me, because let me tell you, it's been so much fun hanging out with this buddy of mine, man. It's been absolutely amazing. And to think, I was absolutely telling him right now, listen, no. I still go to you now. We are definitely going to link up.
Yeah.
In person.
I know you're amazing, man. Honestly, if there's one thing my listeners knows about me, I believe in local hip hop, right? I believe in local music as a whole. That person, my playlist is always like 90% local. And when I believe in someone, as I fight for someone, he'll tell you how I am when it comes to reason. Guys, you can't fight for reason. Whatever you do, come for anyone, don't come for reason, you know? And that's how I feel like right now about you. I'm just like, guys, whatever you do, don't touch Landrose. I don't care who says what, but right now I feel like he's just untouchable. Honestly, you're so amazing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm not buying face right now because I'm talking to you, but then you're one of the most talented artists we have in the country right now. And I truly appreciate your music. Thank you so much. I'm glad that I bumped into you and your work. I love it.
Thank you so much, man. It pleases me to hear that. Very heartwarming, and I appreciate that so much, man. I hope I get to live up to it to the highest level, you know?
I trust you all. I really believe that show.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Zay, I don't know because we're almost done. I don't know if you have anything else that you would love to if you have anything in particular that you'd love to ask.
I don't have much in particular, but then I like putting people on the spot, right? So I'm just going to ask one thing. If you were to pick your favorite song out of all the songs that you've made, which one would it be? Top one.
Yo, top one. Yo.
Top one. I enjoy doing this. I love putting people on the spot. I really do. That's what I'm saying. Top one.
Whoa. I think Oh my goodness. This is tough. This is tough. Do I really have to choose one? Because it would be unfair to others, man, you know? It would
Okay,
really
let's
be
say
unfair
two.
to
Let's say two, and let's recapping it.
um oh my goodness. You know, I would say, oh my goodness. Oh no. Hmm. Okay, I think can we make it a top three at least? Like top three.
All right, I'll give you a
Top
top
three,
three.
yeah,
Let's do a top
baby.
three. Let's do a top three.
So well, thank you. Thank you so much. I think I will start with the new national anthem. Because it's
Yeah,
that important.
yeah,
And it really
yes,
gave me my first glimpse of the hype, you know,
yeah,
and it just
yes,
showed me how important it is to stand out and be incomparable. So definitely number one. Absolutely number one. Um, and then the second one is I am over that.
yeah,
I'm over that. Listen, man,
easily,
very,
yeah,
very powerful. Wherever I go, I get told that one is a special one.
it is.
And oh man, oh my goodness. I think it saddens me to leave all these other records behind, but the next one, so far, I would go for Farewell. Farewell is very new. I released it
It's
this year.
recent, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I think Farewell just speaks to everybody. It's a very special record, man.
yeah,
I love the impact it has on people, and it's just when people post videos and the stories, and then they tag me about how they say farewell to my past traumas and all the
yeah,
times they put me through the worst. I'm
yeah.
just like, you see, that's exactly what
What
this
it
is
is,
about, you
yeah.
know? Yeah, man. So I'm loving the impact those records have on people. So it's really amazing.
That's a solid top three. I'm not complaining. Yeah, it's a
I
solid top
mean,
three. I'm not complaining. Yeah.
even I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
So absolutely, man. That's definitely my top three for now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Landrose, unfortunately, our time is almost up. Thank you very much once again for sharing your time with us. I don't know if you have anything else that you'd love to share.
You guys have been absolutely amazing. I won't lie, my brother. Thank you so much for the hospitality. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much, bro. You've been amazing. You've been
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed this a lot more, man. I won't even lie. Thank you so much, Z, for the recommendation, and thank you so much for always defending me from whoever tries. You're like,
Still the
please,
casket, guys.
please,
Still the casket.
please. You must black belt them if they try and come for me. You must, yeah.
Listen.
No, but yeah, please. But on a serious note, thank you guys so much, man. This has been lovely. I hope we get to link up.
Definitely.
Obviously, someday we will link up, and yeah,
Yeah.
man, we'll take this further, man. Take this
Yeah.
further.
Right.
Thank you, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for the music as well.
Gabon cool. Gabon cool.
Yeah, Landrose, thank you very much, man. I don't know how many times I've thanked you for this because I'm truly appreciative of someone like you sharing his time with us. But yeah,
Yeah.
that is all from us from the Oracles this week. And I'm also grateful that Z was able to finally join us, even though she's stealing some time from her work. But yeah, we will be back again next week. Have a wonderful one. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.